Brendan Bloomer, Block One CEO. Pleasure to have you with us, Brendan. Thank you so much for joining us. So you actually finished the world's biggest sale of cryptocurrency tokens for around $4 billion back in May. What are you planning to do with that money that you raised?
Well, if you look at how token networks were distributed in the past, it was mostly through burning electricity in order to create these tokens. And so the thesis behind our token sale was to take that capital that was normally used to create tokens and then divert it back to the developers that are spawning the next generation of innovation. So we just announced a $1 billion fund for EOS VC. We're investing that with partners throughout the world back into the hands of the developers so we can see what comes from that type of capital innovation.
Sure, but in terms of how you're actually going to use the money you've raised so far, do you have a roadmap that you're sharing with investors?
Yeah, so we've shared, like I said, the first $1 billion of capital into EOS VC. The primary bulk of it is really designed to use as investment into developers building on the EOS.io application itself.
Yeah.
The first commitment of $1 billion is what we've made public. However, we haven't limited our involvement to that, first capital. There's no need to overfund those programs in the early years.
Yeah, and in terms of investors, Bloomberg has reported that you're winning funding from Peter Thiel, Jihan Wu. Can you confirm that?
Yes, we can confirm that. Right. We did a strategic round a little bit a couple months ago, and this technology is really a platform that allows us to start to disrupt some of the large centralized technology platforms today, and these are leaders in that space. And our next plans will make it in terms of what we build on the application ourselves. It'll become a little more apparent why we chose the investors that we have.
Okay, and when are you planning to release that information?
Hopefully at the end of this year or early next.
Okay, now that's obviously a positive thing. Great news. Thank you for sharing with us. But the other thing that we've seen is reports of resignations of some of Block One's earlier executives to start their own blockchain project, which I believe is called Strongblock. Who has actually left the company? Well,
there's always some churn in the employees. None of our core team has left.
Okay.
No.
So this is interesting because, as you can tell, cryptocurrency is becoming more and more mature, and it's an interesting scale. Why? Sorry, guys, I don't know why I did this here. We'll just go to the 3-month graph. But as you can see, unfortunately, crypto has been a little passive. This is still not the right month graph. There we go, guys. But what this news clip I think is showing is that blockchain still needs room for growth, and the correction was necessary to basically bring the markets to reality. And I do believe long term, once the regulations come in, the price of crypto will rebound. And it's interesting to see these funds start, and even more projects will emerge. And I do believe, because crypto space is becoming competitive, that it will foster innovation and a bunch of new creative technologies. But let me know your thoughts on this, and I will talk to you soon.